Hi everyone, so this should be my final video for today, the day of wearing my blue Hard Rock Cafe shirt. So I'm going to try and do the book survey for 2011, and it was originated by Jamie, and I'll put her link, her blog link rather, in the doobly-doo in my pants. And I've seen Amber and Lara do the video, and I'll put their video links in the doobly-doo in my pants also. Let's get this started because I'll probably run out of time. Best book read in 2011, and they broke it up into genres, so I'm thinking I'll do that too. So dystopian, I will probably, dystopian's difficult. Actually, I probably will say Divergent, because I did find it interesting. I didn't love it, but I found it interesting. That might tie, I guess, with the Hunger Games trilogy, but I had a lot of issues with that series. So probably, yeah, Divergent, I guess, by Veronica Roth. I didn't love it like everybody else seemed to, but I enjoyed it. Romance, because I did start it in 2011, so I think this can count. I'll probably say Dash and Lily's Book of Dares because it was just very adorable. And that, I guess that goes under, oh, well, I guess, yeah, so romancy, I'll say Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. Realistic, just YA-ishness, I'll say Pink by Lily Wilkinson. High fantasy, I'll say the Eon-Iona duology by Alison Goodman. Am I forgetting anything? Sci-fi, I'll say Glow by Amy Kathleen Ryan. I think I'm covering all the genres that I tend to read, so yeah, that's good enough for me. Question number 2, most disappointing book or book you wished you loved more than you did. I don't know, there was quite a few of them. I really thought I might like Fury by Elizabeth Miles. It was somewhere. I thought I would enjoy that more than I did, certainly. I wanted to enjoy Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi more than I did. I wanted to enjoy the Hunger Games trilogy more than I did. So quite a few books, actually, that I honestly did go into hoping to enjoy more than I ended up doing. So, question number 3. Most surprising book in a good way. I will say 2 books actually. Both the works by Stephanie Perkins. So Anna and the French Kiss and Lola and the Boy Next Door. I'm not showing a lot of books because they're not on my shelves at the moment. Because they're very romancy, I did not expect to enjoy them, but I did, and that's a good thing, because ordinarily I'm very cynical with regards to romance, especially in young adult. So the fact that I could still find characters I liked, and I thought the storylines were pretty plausible and all such things, and the characters didn't irritate me too much, was nice, and I was grateful for that. Question number 4. Book recommended to people in 2011. I would say certainly the Night Creatures trilogy by Marianne Depere, so Burn Bright and Angel Arias. Definitely have been recommending the poop out of those 2, and probably Eon and Iona by Alison Goodman. So pimping my Aussie authors like there's no tomorrow. Question number 5. Best series discovered in 2011. Probably just repeat myself, I guess, and say probably Eon and Iona. I liked because it was a duology, so that was really cool. The fact that you know that you're getting everything you're going to get in this universe in those 2 books was certainly a bit of a sigh of relief for me, because we seem to always just have continuing series and you've always just got to wait around for the next installment. So it was nice, just everything just in those 2 books, and very fully realised and original, and I really enjoyed it. Best new authors discovered in 2011. Stephanie Perkins for me, because I do enjoy her writing style and the characters she creates. Rachel Cohen and David Levithan, because I hadn't read any of their work before, so that was new for me. Lily Wilkinson, because that was an Aussie author I'd never heard of prior to reading Pink, so yeah, there's just a few people. Where am I? Best book out of your comfort zone or a new genre. I don't think I really encountered any new genres this year. Probably out of my comfort zone would be the Hunger Games trilogy, because I don't cope with violence. I know in comparison to so many other novels, the violence in those books is nothing. But for me it was extreme and difficult to get through. So I'd say the Hunger Games, because while it's dystopian, it's also very actiony. So I don't often read action all that much, and I certainly don't watch it in cinema very often either, because I just can't cope with violence, so I'm too sensitive. Where am I? Question number 8, most thrilling unputdownable book in 2011. I did go through The Hunger Games very quickly. It was quite addictive reading, but I would think also that, especially when I was reading Iona, I was reading it very quickly too, because I was quite fascinated with what the hell was going on. It's not as easy to read quickly because it's more densely written and I guess more detailed, whereas The Hunger Games you can speed through readily and easily. But I would say I was reading both quite quickly. Most anticipated book in 2011, that would most certainly be the final installment in the Wicked Lovely series, so Darkest Mercy. I also read this very quickly too. Yeah, I was waiting with bated breath for this installment. I'm assuming I'm probably going to need to start a new video, so I apologise. As you know, I can't make long videos because my computer won't accept them because it's shit. So I will pick up with my next question when I come back to you. Okay, coming back to you. Second part of the book survey for 2011, up to question 10, favourite cover of a book. So many of my books aren't here, so it's difficult to pick one, but I do have to say that the Wicked Lovely series always delivered on really beautiful covers that are quite evocative and just nifty, so I do really love the Darkest Mercy cover. I think it's very, very beautiful. And thankfully it's also a series that I think the writing is exemplary and I really like the story, so it's not just a case of it's a pretty cover. So I think it's very nice. Question 11. Most memorable character. Certainly Iona from the Iona duology really sticks with me. I think she was a very interesting protagonist, a very interesting central character, and I liked following her journey. This year has sort of been a year for me paying attention to bad guys, actually, so some antagonists that I don't want to say like, but they've stuck with me. Seth from Glow, mainly because I'm just very interested to see where he's going to go in the future, and Warner from Shadow Me, because he was someone I actually thought was interesting in that book, and I didn't really like anybody else, so yeah, those two and Iona, I think definitely are sticking with me. And if I have to pick like a love interest that I enjoyed, I did like Cricket from Lola and the Boy Next Door. I thought he was quite adorable and sweet, so I like you, Cricket. Question 12. Most beautifully written book. A lot of people will probably be answering Shadow Me because of its very distinctive writing style, but its very distinctive writing style was fine in very small doses and I enjoyed it, and then it very quickly got sickening and overpowering for me. So that rules that out, sadly. But I actually really enjoyed, although it was consciously contrived at times, I still really enjoyed the writing style by the two authors in Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. Just some of the wording of things I thought was nice, and the sentiments that were expressed. So yeah, I'll go with that one. Question number 13. Book that had the greatest impact on you. That's difficult to say. I'm torn between Pink by Lily Wilkinson, because it's a kind of teen fiction I wish had been around when I was a teen to have helped me through things, and I was just very appreciative of the kind of characters that were detailed in that one, because you don't see that all that often, and I like the social themes that were addressed as a result of that, and I do sincerely wish it had been around to have given me some comfort when I was at that age, like 16, 17, 18. So that was very special. I think also, in a sort of negative sense, The Hunger Games impacted me because I had to confront how I feel regarding violence in particular and the kind of negative, not so nice aspects of humanity, especially humanity en masse and in dire circumstances and things, so that certainly had me questioning a lot of stuff and having to ponder on subjects that aren't too nice, so yeah, so that's one good end of the spectrum and the not so good end of the spectrum there. 14. Book you can't believe you waited to read. You waited till 2011 to read. Certainly I took a very long time to read the Hunger Games series. I guess I was a while waiting to read Anna and the French Kiss because a lot of people read that 2010, the end of 2010. I wish I'd known about Eon, the first novel in the duology beforehand, because it was published in Australia back in 2008, so I wish I'd known about that a while back. But certainly I think it stands out that I waited quite a while to read The Hunger Games, so yeah. Favourite passage or quote in a book? Again, so many of my books are not on my shelf, so I had to pick stuff that was here. But I certainly liked, there were moments I really enjoyed in Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. Just really simplistic stuff, but I liked how it was worded and things. And so this is from page 131, and it's the character of Sophia talking to Dash. And she says, and he says, "You make it sound like I don't want to get to know her." She says, "Of course you want to get to know her, but at the same time you want to feel like you already know her, that you will know her instantly. It's such a fairy tale." A fairy tale? You think fairy tales are only for girls? Here's a hint. Ask yourself who wrote them. I assure you it wasn't just the women. It's the great male fantasy. All it takes is one dance to know she's the one. All it takes is the sound of her song from the tower, or a look at her sleeping face. And right away you know. This is the girl in your head, sleeping or dancing or singing in front of you. Yes, girls want their princes, but boys want their princesses just as much. And they don't want a very long courtship. They want to know immediately. I just thought that was quite a cool little remark there. And very true as well, I think. And a nice little commentary on the fairy tale ideals that we carry with us, even if we don't want to admit that. So, question 16. Book you're most likely to reread in 2012? I think there's a chance I might reread the first installment in the Hunger Games series just to preempt the film's release, so I can be extra picky while watching the film, because I like to, you know, do comparisons between book and film when they're adapted. So I might reread that book if I think I have the stomach to do so. We'll see how I go. Question 17. Book that had a scene in it that you were reeling over and dying to talk to someone about. I remember the first novel, Eon, I was very torn up about a relationship in that book towards the beginning, and I wanted to know if anyone felt the same, because I was looking around online and on Goodreads, and it seemed to be something that no one was addressing or talking about, or didn't seem to think was worthy of discussion. So it was bugging me so much and giving me some torment, so I remember really wanting to talk to people about that, and I addressed it in a video and got a few responses, which was nice. So other people had thought about it, and it wasn't just me, although I think I was the one reacting the most. But I do remember that, so that was certainly something. And I think once I started reading The Hunger Games, there were some things I wanted to discuss, which was why I made the videos that I made in response to those books. So yeah, just those are books I'm remembering how I responded. So that is all the questions that Amber did for this particular survey, so I'm going to leave it at that and try and put these two videos together if I can. And if you have not done this survey, I encourage you to do so. And yeah, that's all for now. Goodbye!